You're joining us now inside of the International Space Station Flight Control Room, located at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. The crew getting ready to do their final farewells. Rick Mastracchio, Koichi Wakata, and Mikhail Turin getting ready to load into that Soyuz, wrapping up 188 days in space. Among the three, a lot of veteran experience, each already having multiple space flights on their resume. Rick Mastracchio will now have a total time in space accumulated of 228 days spread across 4 space flights, being a veteran shuttle flyer on 3 previous shuttle missions. And then Koichi Wakata will now have a grand total of 348 days in space spread across 4 flights. Became the first commander of the International Space Station during Expedition 39. Mikhail Turin, the most veteran amongst the crew, will now have a grand total of 532 days spent in space across 3 space flights, now finding himself at 13th on the all-time endurance list. The 3 have been on board the International Space Station since launching and docking back in November of 2013. Their leaving today will wrap up 188 days spent in space and on board the International Space Station. The 3 giving a total distance traveled of over 79 million statute miles, done over 3,000 orbits of the Earth while on board the orbiting laboratory. The 3 will climb into their Soyuz descent module, which is one of 3 pieces that the Soyuz craft is comprised of. It's a fairly tight fit. As you can see, very stringent height requirements for these astronauts that they'll be packed in over the next few hours for their ride home. And this is just one of 3 pieces of that Soyuz craft and will be the only part that actually survives the re-entry through the Earth's atmosphere, containing the craft's heat shield, which protects them from the intense heat of re-entry. And there we go, getting a view as Rick Mastracchio moves in to the Soyuz craft, where he'll be getting the ride down tonight, giving a final farewell. Again, Rick Mastracchio, the NASA astronaut, part of the departing crew. Here you see Koichi Wakata, the first Japanese commander of the International Space Station. Again, those 2 and Russian cosmonaut Mikhail Turin have spent 188 days in space since arriving back in November of 2013. 3 getting ready to load into that Soyuz craft and then close the hatch between it and the International Space Station. Following that, they'll be getting into their Sokol launch and entry suits and then strapping in for the ride down with their planned landing tonight at 8:58 p.m. Central. Here now, Mikhail Turin, who will be the commander of the Soyuz craft during its operations this evening, getting ready to load in as well. Turin again, 13th now on the all-time endurance list with 532 days spent in space, spread across 3 different space flights. So Turin now moving the hatch into position. He'll be responsible for closing the hatch on the side of the Soyuz craft, and then one of the 2 cosmonauts, either Alexander Skvortsov or Oleg Artemyev, will do all of the closing and latching on the station side. Following this hatch closing, they'll be doing a number of leak checks to verify the vehicle's in a good config, but there we have the hatch getting closed. Closed on the Soyuz side at 2:25 p.m. Central Time. And just there, Alexander Skvortsov working to close the hatch on the station side. The unofficial hatch closure time right now, 2:26 p.m. Central. three returning astronauts, Rick Mastracchio, Koichi Wakata, Mikhail Turin, now inside of their Soyuz TMA-11M vehicle, getting ready to depart the International Space Station just a few hours from now and return home. The next major milestones for tonight will be the physical undocking of the Soyuz craft from the International Space Station. We'll come on with undocking coverage at 5:15 p.m. Central, 6:15 p.m. Eastern. Then our final broadcast for the night will be for the deorbit burn and landing coverage. We'll come on the air at 7:45 p.m. Central Time with the deorbit burn scheduled at 8:04 p.m. and the final landing in Zhezkazgan in Kazakhstan scheduled to come at 8:58 p.m. Central Time, bringing a wrap to 188 days in space for the departing trio of Expedition 39.